Welcome back, everyone. And today we're going to look at part 5. And in part 5, we're going to talk about the factors that affect the rate of evaporation. Now, there are several things that can affect the rate of evaporation. In other words, how fast can evaporation happen? Number one is temperature. So, although evaporation occurs at any temperature, the higher the temperature, the easier and faster it is for the liquid to evaporate. Why is this so? The answer is quite simple. A higher temperature means the kinetic energy of the molecules will be larger. So if they have a lot of more energy, they have a better chance of escaping out of the liquid. They have higher energy and therefore they can break out from the liquid much easier. Number two is humidity. There are water vapor present in the air. The amount of water vapor present is called humidity. So if the humidity is high, that means the air is very damp, and that means there's a lot of water vapor in the air. And if the humidity is low, that means the air is dry, and when the air is dry, that means there's less water vapor in the air. So evaporation becomes slower when the humidity is high. For example, wet clothes do not dry easily if the surrounding air is damp, and wet floors take a much longer time to dry on a rainy day. The reverse is also true. If the humidity is low, the rate of evaporation becomes faster. So if you sleep in an air conditioned room, so in an air conditioner room, the humidity is low, in other words, the air is quite dry, your throat will feel dry. So the saliva or the liquid in your mouth will evaporate easier in a dry room. The third factor is the surface area. If we hang up our clothes to dry, it will be faster if the clothes are spread out. A cup of water will cool down and dry out slowly, but would cool down and dry up faster when the water is spread out on a plate or on the floor. The rate of evaporation increases with the exposed surface area of the liquid. So I've drawn here two examples of what this looks like. If you have the liquid with a small surface area, like this one here, it will evaporate slower. But if the liquid is spread out and has a large surface area, like in the second drawing here, the liquid will evaporate faster. Why is this so? This is because evaporation only takes place from the surface of the liquid. A larger surface area means that more molecules can escape from the liquid surface. And that's why evaporation is faster if the surface area of the object that is trying to dry is larger. Next is moving air or wind. Wind will increase the rate of evaporation. So we feel cooler in the wind after being wet. Our wet hair will also dry faster when we use a hair dryer which blows wind. Why is this so? This is because moving air removes the vapor as soon as they escape from the surface of the liquid. Let's say this is your liquid, and above the liquid there is air, and therefore the space above the liquid is being occupied. But if there is wind, what's going to happen? The wind will blow away the water vapor that is above the liquid. That will clear the space above the liquid so that the liquid particles can now escape and go up and occupy that space. Next is pressure. Decreasing pressure will increase the rate of evaporation. For example, wet objects dry faster at a mountain top where the atmospheric pressure is lower. And then the last factor is the boiling point. The lower the boiling point, the faster it is for the substance to evaporate. An example for this, alcohol, which has a low boiling point of about 79 degrees Celsius, if I'm not mistaken, will evaporate much more rapidly than water under the same physical condition. So remember, for part 5, you need to be able to remember what are the factors that affect evaporation. Number 1 is temperature. If the liquid is hotter, it evaporates faster. Number 2 is humidity. If the air is drier, the liquid will evaporate faster. Number 3 is surface area. If the liquid has a large surface area, in other words, it's spread out, it will evaporate faster. Number 4 is wind. When there is wind or moving air in the surrounding, the liquid will evaporate faster. And then number 5 and number 6, when pressure is lower, the rate of evaporation will be faster. And when the boiling point is lower, then the rate of evaporation for the liquid will also be faster. In part 6, in the next video lesson, we're going to look at something called latent heat.